gotta do something. Anything. I swear to you, one way or another, the two of you will pay. And it's gonna hurt.
What happens when a person allows themselves to be consumed by revenge, despair, and the lust for power? Attack on Titan shows us Isayama's answer by focusing on the evolution of Eren's character in one of the greatest stories ever told. This anime specifically excels in two ways. The first is through spectacle, which due to the great work done by the animation studios was extremely impactful throughout. The second, and arguably most important ingredient, is phenomenal storytelling dipped in human psychology, by showing how the world transforms an individual. All of this is made possible by having Eren be the ideal medium to deliver the message. The way he starts off is one that many can empathize and relate with. He's this curious, annoying kid who just wants to explore his surroundings, and the sheer cost of that is beyond what anyone could have expected. With the trauma of his mother's death, he finally stumbles closer to an answer. He decides that he will overcome the walls that imprison him. With this speech right here.
I'll just keep moving forward. Till I my enemies.
Keeping his dreams and rage for the Titans at the forefront, how can he experience the freedom he longs for? Eren begins to believe that any means will justify the end, but to realize his ambitions, he sacrifices hope itself, and having followed him so closely, we can't help but sympathize with him. The brilliance in Isayama's story lies in how he transitions Eren into the role of a villain. However, if you still want a moral compass, then Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Levi, and Hanji are all much better suited to that role. To me, as a viewer, this story seemed like one which Hajime Isayama knew would play out this way from the very start, and thereby foreshadowed it so often. There wasn't any filler or padding to buy time or delay the story progression. The Titan that Eren's mother was so much more relevant than I ever noticed it would be, especially when I rewatched the series. There are so many more clues hidden throughout the story. It's all of these things combined that showcase the insane character development of Eren and make him a compelling main character. But Eren isn't the only reason that Attack on Titan is so brilliant. It can also be attributed to the phenomenal storytelling that gives the story a continuously evolving plot, which often made me feel like I had no idea this is what I signed up for.
Nice.
The first season was like a zombie apocalypse story where the Titans were just mindless monsters that attack and eat humans.
Okay.
Then, near the season finale, it's revealed that the massive walls guarding the people are actually filled with Titans.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This conspiracy then reaches a fever pitch midway through the second season, when it stops feeling like a zombie story and more like a political thriller, with the narrative and world taking center stage instead of the Titans. While some might consider the plot progression at this point to slow down, it is absolutely essential for world building because we understand the moving parts that define this story and what their motivations are. And almost out of nowhere, we're hit with one of the biggest reveals in the series. The enemy is not only hidden amongst them, they are literally part of the main team.
Excuse me, what?
This is where the third season begins to reap the rewards of all the seeds that were sown earlier. The first half of season 3 starts as a self-contained arc inside the walls. We see what defines the lives of the people in the walls and how it's governed, and we see our main cast finally gaining control by learning the ins and outs of what's happening. The second half then finally brings all the build up to a head, which feature not just one, but multiple amazing moments with so much back and forth of who will win the battle, with Armin and Erwin being beaten to the edge of their lives. And finally, the cast reaches that basement after 3 seasons worth of suspense. Now we enter the final season, part 69, which starts with a huge curveball in the form of a time skip. But slowly, as we figure out what's happening, all of a sudden, another plot twist just flips the script. The build-up transforms into the foundation for a full-on war story. We see Eren become the villain. Now, the very friends that Eren wants to protect are the ones that will bring forth his end.
The Titans of the Walls will continue their march until every trace of life beyond our shores is trampled flat.
Overall, Attack on Titan is a thoroughly brilliant story across multiple rewatches, and it's a combination of all these elements that make this story so hard-hitting. Despite not being the core focus, all the characters are well written and have unique personalities that define their relevance in the story, not just as secondary characters but often even leading the story. The phenomenal animations made the impact of every scene so much stronger and enjoyable. It makes this anime easy to recommend.